dinner.
So, a little word about Charger Foundation. I did say I've got about an hour to go, so just keep you with me, okay? Charger Foundation was started by HS and Partners 20 plus years ago. Its mandate was to fund charities that supported children, either directly or indirectly. For the first decade, we supported a wonderful organization called Windfall Clothing that provided clothing and back-to-school supplies for women's shelters. I got to personally meet a lot of people from the women's shelters, a lot of the organizers. It was a wonderful, amazing experience. To quote the president of Windfall at the time, Helen Herakis, Charger Foundation in their early days kept the lights on. What we did for them was very important. But our job was so well done by funding and introducing them to other benefactors that they got to a point where they really didn't need us anymore. And I like to feel needed, as a husband and as my wife will know. So we started looking at other ways to support children. And I was driving one time and I'm listening to 1010 Talk Radio and I heard an individual speaking about how he was trying and struggling to create the first organization to help men and their children. And his name was Justin Trottier. And I was intrigued. I actually called up the radio station and asked, who was this man? I want to talk to him. And it was through that conversation that I decided we needed to have a pivot. We've been helping all these women's shelters, but it's time maybe for some men's shelters. And this was not a popular thing. I got to be honest with you. In fact, there are some people here tonight that when I approached them on this in the first early years, men don't need any help. What are you talking about, abused men and their children? No one believed it. The media wasn't supportive. It was a real uphill climb for them, I gotta tell you. But I saw in the heart of Justin and his team, frankly, his future wife at the time, Denise Long, was part of this, that they started CCMF in 2014. They had the vision and the fortitude against a lot of headwinds to help men and their children that suffered from domestic violence and abuse. They wanted to give them a safe haven, counseling, and resources, not unlike all the women's shelters provided at the time. It's not just a male issue. Through their tireless efforts, oftentimes dealing with biases against CCMF, they built the very, very first men's shelter in Canada, here in Toronto, in 2021, and the second one in Calgary in 2024. I'd like to let that sink in. The very first men's shelter dedicated to men and their children. So if you can give applause to CCMF for that historic. So these two shelters, and hopefully more in the future, they provide a safe place for a man and his child or children, a place to receive counseling and educational programs on how to be a good father, a place to find assistance in fighting for custody and more. For the children, it provided a safe place away from possible emotional or physical trauma, a simple access to their dads, as we all know that every child needs a father in their life. So, CCMF has made tremendous strides since it first started. When I said it's faced a lot of societal backlash, actually surprisingly so. Many potential donors rejected them from the government, to corporations, to individuals. Today, though, through Justin and his team's hard work, educating the media, educating the government, there's a better and improved understanding of the needs for men and their children and the important role that CCMF makes in that. With this gala tonight, it is Charter's mission to help CCMF expand, to help more men and children when they need it. With your support here tonight, CCMF can do just that, so I ask you to be generous tonight, please. Bid on the amazing auction items, both live and silent. buy the raffle tickets, and please spread the word about CCMF. It is something that's critically important. Remember, no one has ever become poorer by giving. And it's not how much you give, but how much love you put into giving. And I'm a big believer in karma, a huge believer in karma. And you know what karma is ultimately? At the root, karma is what you put out comes back to you. So please consider that and help it. And I lied about taking an hour. I'm almost done. CCMF has made tremendous strides. Thank you for being here tonight to help it continue to do so. So now I want to introduce the founder, the visionary, the driver, and the heart and soul of CCMF, and a personal inspiration to me, Justin Trottier. Justin, do you want to come up? Thank you.
Wow. Thank you for that. That means a lot. It's also a hard speech to follow. Do my best. I'm thrilled to be here with all of you tonight for this Charger first annual Gala fundraising event. Can everybody hear me okay? Yeah. I have a tendency not to hold this close enough, so I'll try to correct that. So I'm Justin Trottier. I'm the founder and the executive director of the Canadian Centre for Men and Families, as you've heard. As many of you know, the history of the relationship between CCMF and the Charter Foundation does go back many years. In fact, I'm not sure if you realize this, Louis, 2025 marks the 10-year anniversary of that collaboration. Together we've hosted 6 successful golf tournaments, and we raised almost $200,000 for life-saving programs for boys and men. So thank you so much to the Charter Foundation. So in 2024, we made the fateful decision to reinvent this annual flagship fundraiser, relaunching as tonight's beautiful charity gala. Tonight, you're in for, as you've already been experiencing, delicious food, inspiring music, outstanding entertainment, exceptional company, and all in this exquisite venue, Arlington Estate. We're excited to have you here to celebrate with us the first of what we plan to be many annual charity galas to support essential services for boys and men. And I'd like to take a moment to tell you a little bit more about the charity in question, the Canadian Centre for Men and Families. We are, as you probably gathered, a rather unique and unusual organization, I don't mind admitting that, Canada's leading charity dedicated to boys, men, and fathers and their families. We have 4 major pillars. First, we want to reduce suicide among men at high risk. Second, we want to empower fathers, and that's to strengthen the father-child relationship, thus improving the health of our families. Third, we want to help men heal from trauma and abuse. And fourth, we want to develop positive pathways for struggling male youth so that they can become positive leaders in their communities across Canada. And why is all of this so essential, this work at CCMF? Well, in communities across Canada, boys and men have very, very few support services. In many communities, there are literally 0 resources, 0 for boys and men. 0 support services, 0 men's centers, 0 emergency shelters for fathers and children. We provide many tangible programs, trauma counseling, support groups, legal clinics, fathering programs, etc., etc. But more than anything else, I think we provide hope and optimism about the future for those families. In March 2021, we opened Canada's first shelter dedicated to fathers and children in crisis. Almost a year ago, we opened our second shelter, this one in Calgary, an 11-unit apartment building in Calgary, Alberta, and we're just getting started. I've had the pleasure of meeting with many of you today and of hearing about how our work connects to your own personal experiences, and I think it demonstrates the widespread nature of the issues that we face at the Centre for Men and Families. I know it's a little bit unusual, isn't it, to talk about boys and men as vulnerable. And that's the paradox, I think, at the heart of the work that we do, because men are often portrayed, and frankly, they often portray themselves as invincible. But the facts tell a different story. Men are twice as likely to abuse drugs and alcohol. Men make up 2/3 of all suicides. Men are 75% of the shelter population. I can go on and on. I sometimes do. These are just a few of the shocking statistics that point to an unspoken crisis. But we are making progress, and I want to take the opportunity tonight to share some very exciting news. On October 9th of this year, the first ever federal Men and Boys Health Caucus was inaugurated in the Canadian Parliament under the leadership of Senator Patrick Brazeau. For the first time in our nation's history, Canada now has a standing body dedicated to addressing the unique challenges faced by men and boys. This truly cross-partisan effort, all parties are represented in this body, by the way. It includes 25 MPs and senators, including the Vice President of the Senate himself, Rene Cormier. In fact, the Honourable Julie Stroh, who is a Liberal member of Parliament and the MP for CCMF, or that is to say where our family shelter is located, she is the MP. Two of her office members are here tonight, so we appreciate you both being here, and we appreciate the Honourable Julie Stroh for being one of the first members of Parliament to join this caucus, which now includes 25 of her parliamentarian colleagues. We have the chance to make some major advances now for men and boys. And this development comes just in time to celebrate Men's Health Month, which, if you don't know, takes place right now every November. And that's why throughout the month of November, we have a generous donor who has stepped up to match all donations to CCMF up to our goal of $150,000. Every dollar you give during that window of time will go twice as far, help twice as many families. I have to tell you, it's a truly bizarre space in which we operate at this organization, because the work that we do is critical, so critical that our clientele continues to explode. We literally cannot respond quickly enough to the emails and calls that come in at all hours. And despite that, the work that we do are matters of life and death, yet governments and other funders continue to ignore these problems of boys and men. And that's why philanthropists and philanthropic foundations are absolutely essential vehicles. They are the only vehicles for supporting these causes. So I want to turn the spotlight back on one remarkable man, Louis Sapi. Louis's ongoing support has been a linchpin for our growth over these many years. His generosity and his pioneering spirit have served as catalysts for our progress. I want to thank him. I want to thank the amazing folks at the Charger Foundation and HS & Partners. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, Louis, Teresa, Irina, and Sonia in particular, for organizing this amazing inaugural charity gala. Thank you for your passion, your leadership, your patience, and your persistence. We needed a little bit of all of it, honestly. Tonight truly is a milestone event. I also want to thank some key CCMF donors who sponsored tables here tonight, some of my friends and colleagues, Dr. Paul Sandor, Patrick Canham, and Raymond Van Eno. Raymond is here with us tonight. Please. Actually, Ray, do you mind standing up? Because I think people should see what we're talking about here. I want to single out Ray in particular. Ray and Ray's family have been among CCMF's most distinguished and dedicated donors over the last decade. Our 2 emergency shelters exist because of Ray's willingness to take a chance on us and provide that critical initial contribution. So thank you, Ray, for your generosity, trust, and your friendship. The support of each of you in this room is equally important. We truly cannot continue to provide life-changing, and in some cases, actual life-saving support to thousands of families all across Canada without your contributions. So please give generously today by participating in our auction, our raffle, our Build-A-Bar, and the many other exciting activities we have to park you from your money tonight. For many men and families, the Canadian Centre for Men and Families is the only charity that provides the essential support that they desperately need. Your support doesn't just fund programs and services. You are truly funding hope for thousands of families across Canada, and we can't do this without you. So thank you very much.
If you get a chance, talk to Justin through the night. He made it sound like it was so easy, essentially, what's gone on over the last 10, 14 years, but what he has gone through to get this started, the CCMF, is incredible, and he's got an incredible story, and that is a man who has persevered through a lot to bring success to this. So congratulations, Justin. It's amazing.
$1,600 alphabet 60. Going up for cheap period. $1,500 once. $1,500 twice. Who we missing? $1,600 yes or no? So $1,500. What a buy. Nice buy there. Item number 5. Who wants to go to Costa Rica? 900, 800, number 9 now, the entire table over there at 800, 900. 800 of it now, when you get 9, bottom number 900 a bit. 800 down 9. I did 800, 900. Take a look what's on that table for $800. ladies and gentlemen, the entire Toronto Maple Leaf collection. Take a look at the image up top. That piece there is sold. I've actually sold that piece many times for upwards of $4,000 or $5,000 in charity events over there, and I made $800. Take another look at this table of entire Maple Leaf collectibles. We're bid $800 once. Going up for pennies on the dollar here. $800 twice. On 900. Thank you, sir. Now 1,000. 900 bid now 1,000. 900 bid now $1,000 bid here. Today we're walking on 900 $1,000 bill. 900 bid now $1,000. Just take a look. The Daryl Sittler 20 by 29 canvas inside. And you can see in the corner over there, it's got a frame up tag on it. You can go to their website. I guarantee you that's $400 or $500 on their website. The ticket frame is $200 or $300 just to frame it. Forget what's in there. The evolution of the jersey, again, it's an alumni piece. You get double matting, sweet matting in there, V grooves in there, another $300 or $400 framing job on it. The Tygoe jersey, signed Tygoe jersey, is worth $300 or $400 anywhere. And all the collectibles that are in there too. And I only bid $900, instead of $1,000, even up at $1,000 now. And they give $1,000 bid. Do they give $1,000? Yes or no? No, but there don't be any fans. $1,000 bid over here. Now $12.50, sir, but you get 12 and a half. Bid $1,000